So, Richard, take us through the main findings.
Yes, Ashing, as you say, Ireland has the Republic of Ireland has its highest population since before the famine in 1841, 5.123 million, the first time breaking the 5 million mark for the counties of the Republic since 1851, over 150 years ago. As you say, every single county has seen an increase in its population, which hasn't been the case with all censuses in recent years. The highest or the biggest growing counties, Longford, an increase of 14.1%, Meath 12.9%, an overall population increase of about 361,000 people over those 6 years since the census of 2016. 171,000 net inward migration, 193,000 in terms of natural increase, that is births minus deaths. Now, obviously, there's a huge focus on housing at the moment. The CSO, in their preliminary findings, saying that the housing stock has increased to 2.1 million nationwide, an increase of 6%, but that is not keeping in growth, growing at the same level as the population. So there is still a shortfall, a discrepancy there. Also a focus on vacant properties, with the amount of vacant properties being vacant, tens of thousands of them across more than one census at this point.
There's much more close alignment between the growth in the housing stock and the growth in the population. So the population has increased by 8% and the housing stock has increased by 6%. So there still is a discrepancy there, but it's much closer than was the case in the previous census. And we found that 48,000 dwellings were vacant in 2022 and vacant in 2016. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they've been sitting vacant for those 6 years. They could have been occupied in the interim, but we think it's a very useful metric to see potential long-term vacancy. And if we go back again, of those 48,000, 23,000 were also vacant in census 2011.
Well, in terms of vacant rental properties, Dublin City and Galway City had the highest proportion of vacant rental properties at 30% and 38% respectively. Now, the CSO says those figures are skewed by short-term rentals such as Airbnbs. Now, the Taoiseach has responded to the census, saying that it'll help the government to target and to provide housing, schools, education to meet the growing demand at this point. These are, of course, preliminary findings. The main findings of Census 2022 will be available next year.
Okay, Richard, thank you very much for that.